Welcome back. Let's do a check on the currency market now, and the Indian rupee hit 2-month lows at 51.48. That was the intraday low today. The closing, of course, has been slightly better at 51.26, 0.2% decline coming in for the market. The import payments is something that has been weighing on. The prospects of tax on participatory notes next Monday, something that weighed, and of course the decline in the equity markets also has been weighing onto the Indian rupee. The government borrowing calendar is due this week, and markets are expecting a bigger number, and that's another factor which has been putting pressure on the Indian rupee. And there has been quite a disconnect between the Indian rupee and what's happening in the international markets, where we saw the euro trading at a 3-week highs versus the US dollar and nearly 5 months highs versus the Japanese yen. The dollar index itself has been trading at around 2-week highs. Let's also get in Pramit Brahmbhatt. He's CEO Alpari Forex, and he joins us on a phone line from New Delhi. Pramit, hi, welcome to the show. How do you look at the Indian rupee choppiness that we saw today? 51.48, almost 51.5, 2-month lows onto that one. What are you expecting for the rest of this week?
As you have mentioned that there are fundamental issues which causing rupee to get weaker, and it's disconnected with the international market, as the European market, euro is performing better against other currencies. It seems like that until all the domestic fundamental issues are clear, or there are some sort of relief coming there, we won't see that rupee is getting any sort of support. And looking at the existing level and expected the news line, which is not going to fall in line for rupee, rupee can get even weaker, and we may see the levels of 52 in the coming week's time.
Vijay, let me get you into the conversation as well. 52 is the mark that you have been talking about for the April futures, but do you see spot markets running up to that level?
Manisha, in the absolute near term, you might see volatility in both directions, and coming up to the the month end 31st March, I think 52 may be a 50-50 possibility of happening, but give it another 2 weeks from 31st of March and the probability rises, because I would expect the rupee to remain under pressure vis-a-vis the US dollar. So my view remains short rupee, long USD, and 52 may not really be the ceiling that we are looking at. It might just go through that glass ceiling fairly easily once the bear squeeze occurs.
Pramit, how do you look at the international markets? Though the Indian rupee is not taking very good cues from that one, but the euro run up, do you see that sustainable?
Now, euro is floating between the broad range of 1.31 to 1.33 kind of a range, and it's getting a strong resistance at 1.30 to 80 where it's trading now. It's important for euro to close above 1.3320 levels to see a further rally. And in that case, we may see some sort of support come to rupee, but considering the domestic factor, it may not help as much as its euro moves against the dollar.
Pramit, many or most experts have been bullish on the dollar index. The bankers too, in the coming few months, is what they're expecting the dollar to continue to be on the stronger side. What's your own sense on that?
If you look at the dollar index, the major currencies like yen has already weakened against dollar quite a lot, and looking at the dollar-yen relation, it always moves in a one direction, and it seems like that only. Euro is doing better compared to last few weeks, but we are not sure whether the uncertainty from the eurozone has moved. So yes, we can see that the dollar index can get stronger. But we have to look at it on the week-to-week basis. Overall, I think it's going to neutralize at the level, because considering the stronger euro and little bit weaker yen.
Vijay, what's your own sense? 80 is coming for the dollar index. Would you be bullish onto that one? And what kind of levels are you watching out for in the near term?
In the absolute near term, Manisha, I think the dollar index has ample support at 78.25, and unless that support is violated, I would not really be bearish on the dollar index. Upsides may just run into some amount of profit-taking pressure at close to 80.75 or 80.80. And what we do need to see is the dollar index close above 80 levels on 2 or 3 consecutive trading sessions, which will basically cause a minor bear squeeze and force the bears to actually start covering shorts. I do feel the probability of an uptick happens to be a little more than the probability of a down move.
All right, that's the view coming in from our experts. Pramit and Vijay, thank you so much for joining us. Both our experts agree that you might see further decline coming in for the Indian rupee, and 52 is a level that everybody seems to be betting on. With that, it's wrap on hot commodities, but stay tuned for Rush Hour coming up next.